It's Monday morning, Bank Holiday Monday, and I'm going to take it through sort of what my training's looking like at the moment and a gym session. Now, if you're thinking, have I either just woken up or am I hungover? The last answer is incorrect. I've just woken up. It's currently 8:30, and I just didn't set an alarm because yesterday and the weekend was such a big week of training. Saturday was a 107-kilometre bike ride, don't forget the 7, and a 7-kilometre run. And then the Sunday yesterday was a 26k run. So yeah, it was tiring. So I thought, right, I'm not setting an alarm. It's Bank Holiday Monday. Still got work to do. But there's no time limit. I'm normally swim on a Monday, but the lanes weren't open as normal, so I'll just move that till tomorrow. But I've got a gym session this afternoon, which I'm going to walk through in a bit more detail. So I had a lot of people asking me how am I managing to balance going to the gym along with 14, 15 hours of cardio training. So we're going to go through that in a little bit more detail, break that all down. But as for now, I'm going to go out on a little walk, a little bit of fresh air, as always, get out, start the morning, pop into Tesco, need some more Greek yogurt and sourdough. And then, yeah, pretty much this morning, we'll be doing some like work, some more creative stuff. So like planning out the week's content, creating things, that sort of stuff. Nothing too taxing, just because I know on a Monday, I'm pretty done in from the weekend. So I try and keep it more enjoyable with the tasks that I do. And then this afternoon, full body session, which I'm going to film, walk through it and go from there. So I'll see you at breakfast. Breakfast done. I didn't film it because breakfast was the usual eggs, sourdough, Greek yogurt. I went for a coffee, come back, cracked on with a little bit of work. I'm just going to go through a typical week of training. So when I last did this, it was a good while ago. We're now at the end of August, and I probably did a training update maybe June time, roughly then. So it's been a good couple of months since. Obviously, as you can expect, things have ramped up a lot in terms of training. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about how my week looks, and then this afternoon film and go through a current gym session because it has changed a lot. So come on to that a little bit later. But as for now, a week typically looks like 2 runs, 2 bikes. I've got it here: 2 run sessions, 2 bike sessions, 2 swims, 1 brick work, and then 2 strength sessions. At the moment, anywhere from 12 to 15 hours per week at the moment, which is pretty hectic, a bit like a full-time job. Obviously, I'm able to do this around work, so it does work out nicely, but I take my hat off to people that are training for these types of events whilst also working 40-hour jobs or whatever it is. So in terms of the runs, in terms of how a week looks, so Monday typically would be a swim in the AM and 6 o'clock swim. PM would be a gym session. Tuesday is normally a tempo run, so anywhere from 14 to 16 kilometres, a couple of kilometres of a warm-up, then into running at a faster pace, back to a warm-up pace, repeat that sort of 5-6 times, and then finish off with a little bit of a cool down. So that can be, like I say, 14 to 16 kilometres. On a Wednesday, it's typically an outdoor bike ride and a gym session. So normally I do the gym session in the morning, bike ride in the afternoon, just when the roads are a little bit quieter. And that bike ride is anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours. Thursday is a full rest day, mobility work, focusing on stretching, especially through the lower body, and just relaxing. Thursday's no alarms. I like to just sleep, focus on recovery, and go from that. Because Friday, Saturday, Sunday are my 3 biggest days. So Friday will be my longest swim, and that's anywhere from 3,000 to 3,200 meters in the morning, and in the afternoon it will be either an additional gym session. To be fair, at the moment I'm normally just going to do a little bit of upper body, a little bit of light work, enjoyment session, a little bit of a pump up, just more because I enjoy doing that. It just breaks the day up, especially as Fridays are quite heavy with work. Saturdays is the biggest day of training. This Saturday just gone was a 105-kilometre bike ride straight into a 7-kilometre run. So that was a good 5.5 hours out. So that was a big day on a Saturday. And then a Sunday is my long run, which yesterday was 26 kilometers. So as you can imagine, again, by Monday, I'm pretty fatigued, which is where we are today, which is slightly different to normal because it's bank holiday Monday, but genuinely speaking, I would have swam this morning, but the lanes are slightly different, so I'm going to swim tomorrow instead, which is the main thing. But all in all, we're feeling good. Fatigue is high. It is catching up in terms of how I'm feeling fatigue wise. As you can expect, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. Obviously, again, like I say, I'm in a position where I can do this and not worry in terms of having to be anywhere for work. But it is very fatiguing, mentally, physically. But we're getting it done. We've got deload this week. Then we're into a 3-week sort of building phase where, again, things are going to be a lot ramped up, a lot trickier. And then a 2-week taper, and then we're there. We're there at the Ironman Barcelona on the 6th of October, which is not far away at all. 6 weeks yesterday. So this time, 6 weeks' time, I'll be walking around with a limp, feeling absolutely battered, but I'll be able to sort of call myself an Ironman, which is a good feeling. It's a good feeling. So yeah, that's where we are in terms of the Ironman. Time-wise, I'm not that arsed on the time, to be fair. Like, from what I've been doing and where I can see myself finishing, it probably be between maybe the 12 to 14 hour, 12 to 13 hour mark. But just as long as I cross that finish line, I'm happy. You know, I think that's the thing I said from the start. I'm not too bothered on time. I just want to say I've done it. So 6 weeks time, that's where we'll be. More than confident that that'll be the case. Obviously, this is my last week on UK soil for 5-6 weeks. So we'll be doing the majority of we're doing all my training as of this Sunday in Spain. So acclimatising to the environment and the weather conditions, but also making sure that everything's getting ticked off that needs to be. So that's where we're at. And like I say, this afternoon I'm going to go through an in-depth with my training, walkthrough of a gym session, because it is full body. There's a lot of mobility, a lot of core, a lot of single leg and arm movement, so it's all specific to the 3 disciplines of the training for the triathlon, and just wanted to go in that more detail. But as for now, a couple of hours, crack on with some more work, finish off, chill out for a little bit, and then head to the gym. So we've got voiceover, and as you can see, we're starting off with some mobility work. Now, this is one thing I've prioritised a lot recently, just because it's something I've never done before, and obviously with all the training that I'm doing, I need to stay mobile and injury free. So obviously I've done a video on these before, but you can see some thread the needle, shoulder cars, also did some pigeon poses for the IT bands, lower body, just get everything moving. You know, I've always rushed into sessions in the past, and funnily enough, noticed a huge difference when spending time warming up correctly. So part 1 of this full body session, we started off with elevated goblet squats. Fantastic movement to bias the quadriceps to start with, obviously loading it with the use of the dumbbells. We've got 3 sets here, 6 reps, core nice and tight, thinking about allowing the knees to move forward to bias the quadriceps, as I mentioned. Supersetted these with these squat jumps. Again, 3 sets here of 3 reps, so just focusing more on a little bit more of that explosiveness through the lower body, getting everything moving, and again, a fantastic superset. Something I've not really focused on that much is being in this position. So again, superset to start with, goblet squats and those half kneeling squat jumps. Then moved on to some upper body. We've got here a Z press, no back support or anything, because I want to make sure my core is being used throughout. So loaded these fairly heavy, did 3 sets of 5 reps, obviously using the shoulders as the main mover. Supersetted those with these rotational slam balls. So haven't really done a lot of rotational work, so again, this is why I then put this as a superset. It's not too taxing, and a great movement for that rotation. 3 sets of 6 reps each side on those. Moving on, we've got this single arm chest press in a glute bridge. So again, getting the best bang for my buck through the trunk, hence why the hips have been elevated. Focusing on squeezing the glutes, and obviously a unilateral movement. So obviously not too much chest work is being done at the moment because there's no real correlation with the Ironman training, so it's always nice to get a little bit in. Supersetted that with these gorilla rows, hinging at the hips, keeping the chest parallel with the floor, thinking about pulling out with the elbows. We did 10 reps on the rows, and I did 8 reps on each arm with the chest press. We then went on to my favourite lower body movement for the posterior chain, as I've spoken about numerous times,
Hip extensions, here 3 sets, 8 reps in total. Really, really good movement. If you can do these correctly, my cues would be to think about pushing the hips back as you fold forward, and also think about pushing your quads into the pad. Fantastic exercise. Before we finish off with these tibialis raises, since doing these, I've noticed that no issues through the shins, which is nice to see. 15 reps, keeping it body weight, and in the other session that I do, I'll be doing calf raises instead. And like I say, we did that as a superset with these farmers carry. 3 sets, roughly around 40 meters. It was hard to sort of judge. The gym was quite busy, so had to just make do with what we had. But that is a full body session, how it is looking 6 weeks out from my first Ironman.
So that is a session pretty much boxed off. And obviously I know I went through what a week is looking like in terms of training. Went through that session in a little bit more detail. Try not to bring up my post-workout. But yeah, feeling good, feeling strong. Deload this week. Saturday, 127 kilometre bike ride. Sunday, Marbella for 4 weeks. So things will still be the same out there. Acclimatised to the weather before Barcelona, but ultimately, obviously I can work from where I want. It's going to allow me to obviously go over there, train, keep everything the same, and work on the tan as I do it. So hopefully we enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, make sure to subscribe, and yeah, last video here in Uttoxeter. The next one will be Stratford-upon-Avon, where the race starts, and then from there on, we'll be in Spain. So I'll catch you on the next video.